What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Wednesday, September 1st, 2021. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. First of the month, don't forget to say rabbit, rabbit. Could use some good luck for this September, October, fall, into the winter. Let's get some luck on our side. Why not? What would it hurt, right? A little superstitious. Good luck. This is my favorite day in the astrology today. Very interesting day. So let's dive into the chart. Let's take a look at what's going on. Very interesting times. The sun is at 9 degrees of Virgo. It's an action day for one. So it's this Mars kind of 9 energy of taking action for the reality we want, the physical life, purification, our body, our health, the Virgo things. And it's really like moving in a direction. Also, the sun's squaring Aldebaran and Antares, which of course the nodes have been around for a long time. They sat there for a long time beginning of this year. So we have been in this battle of the light and the dark. Aldebaran, Archangel Michael, Lucifer energy, Antares. Not that Antares is like a bad star, but it is this battle of light and dark in the sky. And sun squaring that position today and into tomorrow morning. So we're all making choices. It's just about choices. I talked about choices yesterday. The sun came off the quincunx to Saturn. We're all choosing a light or a dark in our life. It has to do with karma. It has to do with evolution individually and as a collective. So here we are making these decisions for the way out and how we can help and how we can bring truth with Aldebaran or old stories, and especially with the South Node there, these old illusionary stories that we can tell ourselves, that we can be told by the world. So here we are. We're making choices to purify reality. We're seeing Mars at 21 degrees. So today's a really strong day with Mars in opposition to Neptune. I definitely covered that yesterday, but this is our identification and our ego getting, washed clean here by Neptune. And we're going to see where we're pushing in a direction that's false and illusionary, but also we're going to see where we're moving in a more divine direction. So it's just a super interesting day of choice around your identification and what you identify in reality with who you are, the directions you want to move, what you're pushing for in life, identifying, pioneering your sense of self. So it's definitely even especially with Mars here in Virgo, it is a purification, a spiritual cleanse, even, if you will. And it's how you deal with the subtle energies and how like if your intuition's telling you to stop pushing in one direction so that you can push in another direction is so important. Because if you're just going to keep pushing in a direction that's showing nothing in life, are you choosing old stories? Are you going into those new and exciting stories, of course, with the nodes, and the North Node being in Gemini? And I talk about that excitement and that curiosity and that information so much and the truth of that. So definitely important day. We are going to see the moon here in its dignification to Cancer. It's definitely, a big focus on our personal lives and our home lives and our emotions and where those emotions are taking us. That moon's going to make a really nice sextile to the sun, and with that we're going to get a yod to Saturn for a brief part in the day. So talk about that finger of God pointing to our dedications here, as Saturn's about to come to 7 degrees, but not there yet. I mean, we're really dedicating to structures within our life of reality and our emotions, of our sense of frequency and what we want to raise up with, what part of the collective wave we're choosing to take a role in. A lot of it's about that role. And today's a day where that's gonna show up at some point in the day of are you pushing for your mission? Whatever that may be. Are you at least getting the intuitive hits from, God here with Neptune in opposition to Mars, and identifying with that very intuitive sense that, you could be feeling. So it's good. We are going to see the moon make a sextile to Uranus to finish off the day. It's also going to square Mercury early in the morning, and Mercury's 3 degrees? Yeah. So there's definitely pressure on, I would say, the how to communicate properly with people. A lot of it's about communication, especially with the sun squaring off with Aldebaran. Really putting your truth out there, putting yourself out there, and not like putting the shell up with the Cancer energy. It is making good aspects to the sun, so we're purifying a lot by being in not only our mental authority of that truth, but the emotional authority of that truth as well. And it is that like frequency of dedicating to that version of yourself that you want to take forward here as we're coming off the midpoint of the eclipses with the sun square the nodes and heading here to a Virgo new moon next week, which is going to be very powerful in itself. So much purification, so much about our emotions. The moon's also going to square off with Chiron in Aries. So there's vulnerabilities that we all have to face to find more comfort, and we might want to kind of chill out today. We might want to really feel what this energy is trying to bring to us, because I think if we're just like push, even though it is an action day with that sun at 9, like with Mars here in opposition to Neptune, you just can't push for everything. You got to push for the stuff that's like on the spiritual alignment, within your resonance of your own sense of self. And those are the things that you're going to want to take action for. You're going to see them. You're going to feel them. They're going to be synchronistic. It's a powerful day. And those are the actions that you're dedicating to. And that's what's going to bring the abundance in. And we are starting to see Venus here not aspecting a whole lot. It is Sessi quadrant, the north node, and semi-sextile, semi-square, the south node. So, I mean, we are dealing with some aspects to the nodes here with Venus about the decisions we make in terms of relationships and how to find beauty and excitement in a little bit of a wild landscape of the reality right now, but it's out there. But I think it's by being curious enough to create new stories and not just staying in old, outdated stories, which I've mentioned before as well. And then we're starting to see Venus also approach that square to Pluto. It'll come to 20 degrees today and be within a 4-degree orb. So definitely starting to, get an intense look at the structure of the relationships we're in, what we might want, how to bring balance to that, what might need to go because it's part of a choice or part of a decision in this purification to bring in more beauty. But we're definitely looking to harmonize today through our actions, decisions, and the best version of self that we could dedicate to. Saturn is very strong. Really, a lot of the planets are. Moon's dignified. Venus is dignified. Lots of dignification, and the Sun's +1. Mercury's +2. Mars is the only thing getting washed out by Neptune right now. So that's why it's hard to push, even though Mars is really going full speed when everything else is starting to slow down 38 minutes a day. And Venus was at a minute 14. Now it's at a degree 14. It's at a degree 9. And Mercury's really slowing down. Mercury was going over 2 degrees a day. And then it passes the sun, of course, geocentric wise, and starts to slow down as it makes that turn here for the retrograde this month in September. Very interesting September. A lot is going on. We're going to start to get ready to have some plants come back online in the next 30 plus days, starting with Pluto. So it's kind of retrograde city, and we're coming into a Mercury retrograde before that Pluto goes direct. And it's like, wow, we're really dealing with a lot of internal upgrades here. And that's a good way to look at the retrogrades, and how to, use that energy internally and not so much outside, but like, what are you trying to do to make your life more comfortable, more pure, and more identified with, sort of the spiritual mission, but also the physical mission here with Mars in Virgo and Virgo season. We're definitely we're in a particular place, but Mercury, of course, the dispositor of the Sun and Mars, is balancing some things out and getting ready to make good aspects to the nodes, which it will tomorrow. And that North Node's the dispositor of that is that Mercury. So relationships are crucial. It's interesting how important relationships are. Just relationships to the right people that are helping bring in that beauty and that aesthetic that you're looking for in this reality purification and where you're looking to go. And there's definitely Yod energy. We're also seeing, kind of a wide yod between Saturn and Chiron to the sun today, as the sun's starting to work towards its quincunx to Chiron. And then Saturn and the south node are making a yod to the moon today as well, which I didn't show on the chart, but lots of faded sort of feelings. I feel like a lot of it's coming through not only the mental aspect, as we're in a lot of air and earth, but the moon coming into water here, especially, dignified in Cancer, is like really trusting your gut and being able to understand what that gut wants and that intuitive feeling and that channel that's coming through you to make these purification dedications manifest. And it's those choices of the light and the dark in the world right now that is not up to anybody but you to decide which way you want to go and what reality you want to take part in. Sending you all my best. Happy September. I cannot believe it's September already. Like, where did this year go? I don't know. Kind of a sense of timelessness these days. It's like, it can feel like, yeah, there's a ton of, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of things going on in the world, but it's a very interesting time right now. It can feel super fast at the same time as also feeling like we're in slow motion. Very strange, hard to describe. Maybe you guys feel that way too. 3 of Swords in reverse. I like that. I think, we're moving out of some sense of doubt or heartbreak or feeling like we've been tricking ourselves or getting deceived. I think we're figuring a lot out in a lot of ways, and it's much more in tune with how we're feeling than maybe the mental aspect. Because maybe we've been telling ourselves something that's been really bringing us down or lowering the vibe in some aspect of life. And I like getting the 3 of Swords in reverse because it's like, no, we're not playing those games anymore. We're moving into happiness. We're not going to tell ourselves that old story. And I think that vibes with today. And the choices you can make to have a more pure, fun, loving, exciting life, whether it's with the unions in your life and the relationships you keep, or just that relationship to yourself, and really going from a gut response today of, is it a yes within your heart, within your sacral too, and your emotional center, going into human design, but really trusting that inner pull that's trying to direct and guide. Those are the money points today, especially with all the yods and the finger of God energy and the moon being in that, and Saturn. There's emotional authority that needs to be dedicated to, and we could be hypercritical in Virgo season, and try to have too much of the physical world figured out, when really maybe it's that mental aspect and that overthinking that is making us worry too much about a choice, when really we already know, and it's just about acting on that to get us out of a sense of feeling stuck or in some sense of lack. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful Wednesday. I will see you mañana. And I'm also going to be doing live readings today as well. So if you didn't tune in yesterday for that and you're interested and want to check it out, hope I see you there. If not, we'll just hang out. Much love. Peace.